I'm Scott Goldfein, Editor-in-Chief of Security Sales and Integration, welcoming you to another SSI Security Speaking podcast. By now, every security integration company knows the importance of having the right software to run their businesses more efficiently. But how much more efficiently? How about a 10% increase in profit in the first year? That's the bottom line result from one integrator using simPRO's end-to-end software solution. The company spoke with Chief Content Officer Jason Knott about the keys to onboarding and using software effectively. Be sure to subscribe to SSI's YouTube channel. Hit the like button, share, and leave comments. Or subscribe to SSI's Security Speaking podcast on Apple and Spotify. And leave us a review. Thank you.
Hi, Jason Knott, Chief Content Officer at Security Sales and Integration. And today we are talking about at the Security Sales and Integration Security Speaking podcast about software. And in particular, the pros and cons of integrators using end-to-end software solutions versus purpose-built solutions. So with me today is Param Singh, Enterprise Account Executive at simPRO. Hi, Param.
Jason, how you doing?
Thanks for joining me today. So for people who may not be familiar with simPRO, tell us a little bit about the company.
Yes, happy to. So simPRO, we are an end-to-end field management software. Now, security integrators use us to come in, make their business more efficient, help streamline their operations. And we actually have our beginnings in the trades. We were founded by an electrician 20 years ago. Like a lot of people across the industry, it was a lot of pen and paper, a lot of Excel across his business. And of course, that can be a lot to manage. He luckily had a friend who was a software Jedi. They wrote a piece of software to help manage his business better and quickly realized that this software could help tons of other businesses as well. So we have since continued our growth. Our mission is to help businesses become more efficient, get more money out of their projects, out of their jobs, and ideally get home earlier to enjoy time with their family.
And I'm so excited to hear that this came from the trade, because I think invariably you find products and services that are born out of the trade. They know where it's coming from. They know the experience. They know what's happening there. And this has been around for 20 years, right?
It has, yeah. And that's the main thing too, right? Is we don't want to tell anybody how to run their business. We'd rather have them tell us what to build. And so with our beginnings, we're able to better help our clients and better understand their world.
That's a great point. And I want to address that later with you. I got a question that's right in that line. But let's talk about, for integrators who are wanting to scale, the security integrators, why should they consider an end-to-end solution versus possibly a purpose-built, one-off, cheaper solution?
I come up against this a lot, Jason. And the main thing that I want to communicate is everything should be in one place, right? The more we're jumping around, the more we're having to move data. It means more data entry, potentially errors. We're forgetting to move everything over. And now we're also being slowed down, having to find information. If I'm having to jump into multiple different places, it's only a matter of time before somebody forgets to do something, and now we've lost a piece of key information. With one software where we can manage our entire operations on a day-to-day, your information is secure in the cloud. You have a complete picture of what is going on in your business. And what's really important is the aspect of cost. You can usually find programs to do what you need them to do, but is it really giving you enough in return? Are you really getting enough back for what you're paying for? If you're being slowed down, it's costing you more money. Right? If you're using more than one system, it's going to cost you a lot more than if you can find a complete end-to-end solution. But if you're looking to grow and increase profits, you need a system strong enough to handle all the details and all the intricacies of your unique workflow.
I'm glad you just mentioned the cloud. So that's one of the debates we do hear about integrators who don't know whether to go with a cloud-based solution or a premise-based solution. What are the advantages of that cloud-based solution?
Yeah, well, the biggest thing is you're always going to be on the newest version of the technology, right? Nowadays, we're so used to Netflix, Amazon Prime, having the newest videos, the newest movies for us to watch. Why not have that in your business? Instead of being locked into something you purchased and is probably more expensive and requires more upkeep on your own server, a cloud solution is always going to be the newest technology out there. And as an owner or as a business, you deserve that newest technology.
Oh, really quick, tell me about the onboarding process. What is that like? Is it important for an integration company to select a champion, or does simPRO work with everybody from the top to the bottom on using that software?
Great question. We do work with everybody from top to bottom, but we do have a champion, right? We need to have a project manager on the business team to help us understand who might need additional help, where we're falling behind, right? Who might need additional attention. But onboarding is the most important part of finding and choosing a software, because there are a lot of programs out there that can probably do what you're looking for them to do. But if you're not installing it correctly, what's the point? And I can use an example of, if you can give the best security system out there, but if you did not install it correctly, is it really the best out there? So I always like to emphasize is make sure that you feel confident that not only is the software good, but the team that is giving it to you can help you implement it, help train your team, and get them feeling empowered and confident using it. Because that will go leaps and bounds above.
Give me one more follow-up on that. Is there a typical time frame that you see is more successful for that full implementation? I'm assuming it's an ongoing process.
It is. And the way that we look at it, we don't want to be the company's next software. We want to be the last software they use. Okay. We want to be a partner. And with that mindset, let's take it in small chunks. Instead of thinking we're going to do everything today, let's understand the priorities of the business and help get each of those into the business, help getting everybody feeling confident. We're making sure that we're effectively learning this new way to operate our business, and take that approach. That's going to be far easier on the team, but anywhere from 1 month to 3 months to get the full system in place, what we typically see. We're never going to rush anybody to move any faster than they want to or that they feel comfortable. But of course, we're going to be there to help them make sure they're getting the rewards of the new system.
All right, what are some overlooked areas that integrators might not be thinking about when they implement something like simPRO that can really help them be more efficient?
The biggest things I come across are inventory and reporting. It's very common to hear that sometimes they don't really have a complete idea of what they have on hand, what their technicians are using, and inventory can be quite a big cost in the business. And it's very common for owners to say, we haven't gotten around to it, or we haven't built that yet. But again, having everything in one system where you're managing your jobs out of, you're creating your estimates out of, you're managing your purchase orders, you know exactly what is moving through and who is using what. At least that way we have some more detailed real-time data, which is going to tie into the next portion, which is reporting. A lot of the times you can hear, hey, we don't know how much we're making, but we know we're making money because our account keeps going up, which is great. But there's always opportunity for you to become more efficient, to understand, hey, we could have done better on this job, or we can now learn for the next go around. So having access to real-time data, because if you think reporting, my mind goes to Excel, and no one wants to spend time in Excel crunching numbers, but having access to it automatically done for you in real time can give you the information that you need to make better decisions for the business.
I'm glad you mentioned inventory, because right now we know what's going on the supply chain side. The lead times that integrators are facing for various pieces of equipment is all over the place. And by the time they get a project, they may or may not have ordered that ahead of time, or they may not track it, or as you say, they may not even know where that piece is that they ordered for that project so far long ago. So how much more important right now is inventory management than it's ever been?
or it can make or break a job for you. If you don't know exactly what you have on hand or what you need to order, and you're playing a guessing game, you could miss a deadline on a job by a long shot and end up losing your entire profit margin. So it's important to not only understand what you have on hand, but also important to understand what it's going to cost you. And that is something I hear all the time, is having to go through and update all the pricing, especially this past year, 2 years, with the fluctuations that have happened. You can lose your profit margin right there. So we do have an ability to actually import pricing in to update it all at once from vendors. So it's all about having, again, that real-time data, understanding what is it actually going to cost you, what is your actual profit margin going to be, and how do we effectively make sure that we actually achieve that budget.
Yeah, I love it, because I'm talking to integrators who are talking about pieces of equipment that in the past that may have gotten it 48 hours to get, and now we're talking 4 to 5 months to get that same piece. Yeah. So the planning stage and the software's ability to let them know you've got to start ordering this product at this time in order to fulfill that project coming down the pike is, as you say, can make or break a project.
Yeah, and they're already juggling so much, right? They already have so much on their plate. Adding now this big challenge of a delayed pipeline, that's so much to juggle as well. So having a system that can do it for you can help you understand where are all these moving pieces and what do I need to give attention to right now. I mean, talk about less stress.
It's so funny how things change, because 5 years ago we would have been having this conversation focused on the equipment that's collecting dust on your shelves that you hadn't gotten to, and now it's the turnover is just so rapid. So great point. All right, let me move on. So how does all of this integration, this software, the end-to-end software solution, translate into real growth for a security integrator?
Well, with simPRO, you're going to have a complete picture of where your business currently stands, right? And give you the insight and the information that you need on how do we scale it to either, hey, become more efficient and grow the business, or simply get home faster, right? Have less stress on the jobs, not be running around trying to figure out where everything is. Because you're running everything in one single software, you're able to handle all of your sales, accurate estimates in minutes, updated information for your customers. What do they have on their property? What do I need to maintain? What do I need to service? The actual job management piece of that, having all the operational day-to-day information. Your technicians are now using a mobile app, so there's no need for the chicken scratch handwriting that we all love, right? Updated inventory, so you have a real-time view on how are my projects going, how much are they costing me, and then of course on the back end, just being relieved and seeing your profit loss reports, your work in progress, so you can plan for tomorrow. So the information that you need to scale your business.
You said something earlier that I wanted to pick up on, and you mentioned how because of the background and the origins of the software, that you're not coming in and telling integrators how they need to run their businesses. Because we do hear that a lot, where a lot of integrators are fearful of an end-to-end solution because they think, gee, I'm going to have to change the entire way I run my operation in order to accommodate the buckets of this software. Now, in some cases, they might have processes that need to be changed. Let's be honest, that could be more efficient because you're bringing to bear the experience of all those other integrators who have used it, and you can actually show them examples of this is the way another guy is doing it, and it might be more efficient than the way you're doing it. But talk about that sense of fear and maybe how you work with the integrator based on his processes and what he needs to adjust in his processes before he adopts the software, and how you work with them to accommodate their processes.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, change is hard, and it's always going to be, right? Once, especially when you're running a business, everybody in that business is used to doing things a certain way, even if that way isn't the most efficient. And we understand that. So we're not just going to come in there and tell them what to do. We want to come in and understand, how do you currently operate? And what do you want to get out of a system like this? Okay. And let's take a realistic approach. Let's not take an approach of we're going to have this up and running in a month, but what do we want to accomplish over the next year with a program like this? Because it's a long-term partnership. And we're going to help that team make that transition. Okay. Again, the training and the implementation, but also understanding, hey, there is a better way to do this. Right? The system itself is very configurable. There are a lot of things that you can do with it to, again, help optimize the communication in the office. So you know exactly where each job is, who is currently responsible for it, what do I need to do for my day-to-day as a dispatcher or as the inventory manager or as a service manager. Having that clear view so you can come in and not be running around the office first thing in the morning, just trying to get yourself organized. But you know now, here's all the information that I need to know for today.
Yeah, getting those technicians out on the road quicker and increasing the billable hours and the employee utilization. You could go on and on about that efficiency. Okay, I love how you mentioned the expectations of the software, because I think that might be one of the things that integrators are fearful of, is, or they anticipate various expectations, just like maybe their customers have different expectations of the systems they install. But talk about any specific examples you can give of integrators who have implemented simPRO and what the results have been.
So we actually have a great partner in Colorado, Frank Bauer of Proguard Protection Service. With any software, there's always going to be change and hiccups and issues that come up. Again, it's the expectations and how well do we manage them? How well do we plan out this massive shift in your business? But in his first year, his profit margins increased over 10%. Okay. It's the ability for his business to scale and to grow and to not only better take advantage of the opportunities that he already had, but now with the additional time and resources that freed up, the ability to go after more opportunities. Right? It's not just simply about saving time, but now what the question about is, with that new time that we have available, what do we do with it? Right? And
yeah,
so
I love that.
He's a great example of that.
Yeah, I love that. That salesperson isn't correcting or inputting; he's out there making the next sale. Or that technician is on to the next job. As you say, the efficiency is increased from the opportunity cost is great. So, okay, I'm an integrator. What do I need to do to connect with simPRO? What's the first step?
Go to our website. Go check it out. Really, for any business out there that has guys and girls going out there to install equipment, to service equipment, to maintain it, simPRO can likely help. So come onto our website, request a demo, or we'll also be at the ESX show in Dallas next month. Swing by the booth to learn more there as well. But there's multiple ways to find out what we are. Just simply go on and request a demo or request some more information, and we'd be happy to showcase what we can do, build you a personalized demo to walk you through our software and show what it would look like in your actual business and your day-to-day operations. Right? That's the thing that we want to communicate, is how would it look if you were using it?